Good evening, everybody. This is Gooby. Hope everybody's having a good rest of their Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Uh, Today we will be continuing our journey to try and get enough currency to finish our build. Yesterday, I believe we made 4 divines. Let's see. I think I left some stuff up with Fostas. Hopefully we can go and claim that today. But I hope everybody's day is going well so far. Depending on where you're at, it was definitely hot today. Hotter than it needed to be. Humidity was a real killer. So we have almost another extra 80 chaos that we were able to collect today, just right off the bat. So that puts us up to 181 or 180 chaos currently, and then we've got 9 divines. So let's see here. Trying to see what other currency there is that I haven't collected yet. There's a few different ones. I know one of them is a mirror. I would love to get a mirror, but we shall see if we get lucky on that at some point in our life. I know that mirror drops are probably one of the rarest in the game. So I think we're gonna start off with just running some more city square maps. Gonna continue this essence farm. We're gonna get it running. So yesterday we bought a 2120 gem of our siege ballista, which increased our damage quite a bit. And then we also bought, what else did we buy? I'm not remembering what else we bought yesterday. Oh, a level 4 of the enhanced tool. So currently we are working towards, what are we working towards again? My timeless tool. That timeless tool is going to be a big boost to our damage. That will exponentially increase how quickly we are clearing these maps and are just pumping through damage in general. Let's see. Well, that one fell over pretty easy. We did have a viewer give a pretty cool tip for a farm that I'll have to try in the coming videos. Definitely really appreciated that tip from, let me get it. $420. Honestly, clever name. The way you spelled that out, very clever. But I really appreciate that tip. It is going to be super helpful in the coming days of farming, and I can't wait to try it out. Definitely going to get that thrown together. I'm going to switch over some Atlas points, but I'm absolutely going to give that a try. So really appreciate that little tip. I'm getting some decent essence on these drops. Okay, got a scarab out of a chest. Sometimes I really just want to open all these chests on each map. See if we can't get something. Is it a waste of time? Absolutely. we missed anything up here? No, we didn't. Well, this guy's falling a bit slow, but you know, we're getting there. And that guy really fell over. So I would do that little corrupted area over there. I can't remember what it's called. Beyond, maybe? I don't think so, but that might be what it's called. I don't feel like it is. But they take too much time. And they really don't seem to reward hardly anything. Alright, that map is completed. It's a bit less than what we get on the tier 16 maps. Still a good amount of stuff though. Definitely cannot complain. Oh, I don't think I ran my essence on there. That may have also been a bit of a dampener on our rewards. Well, that's a waste of time. I do believe, yeah, there are mods on this map. I did quality them to quality 20. Let's see here. So this is the first, I guess, league of Path of Exile that I've played. So far, I very much so enjoy the game, but I do definitely lack quite a bit of knowledge of the game. There's definitely quite a bit that is required to be learned in this game. Game that I've probably spent the most amount of time on is League of Legends, but I've also played a lot of other types of games. Like I've got countless hours on Diablo 3, Borderlands 1, 2, 3, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and pretty much all of those. Didn't play the prequel as much. I played it a bit, but didn't really get into it as much as the other ones. Let me think, what else? Played a good amount of World of Warcraft. I play a lot of survival games. I really like my survival games. I haven't played them in a while though, so I may get back into playing some survival games here sooner or later. What else? What else is worth noting? I'm like blanking on every game that I've ever played. played quite a bit of Killing Floor. Pretty pumped for Killing Floor 3 to come out. Just learned about that yesterday, so super excited for that. Played a lot of Skyrim. Skyrim took up a good portion of my childhood. Let's see, what else was there? Can't really think of any other games similar to this that I've really played and put much time into. Surely there's something. Never really played as much old school RuneScape. I know that that's a super popular one that people play, but it was just, it was just a bit slower than what I would have liked of that style of game. That's not to say it's, not a good game. I actually have played it a decent amount to where, I do enjoy a lot of the aspects of it, just it does move a bit too slow, especially at the beginning. And some of it's, I'm sure, that I just don't understand the game fully. Oh, there's a divine right there. We're already up a divine. Look at that. One step closer to our goal. Speaking of goals, I do have a Twitch stream that I do on top of all of my videos that we are trying to reach a goal of hitting 25 followers. We are currently 9 away. So, if you like the content, if you like watching the gameplay and hearing me talk endlessly about nothing and have very little concept of what I'm doing, and you find that enjoyable, I would love for you to come hang out, spend time in the chat, and maybe drop a follow if you really like it. I do intend to not fish for subs and follows and things of that nature very regularly. I may put it out there every now and again, because I would like to spend more time doing this. And with that means that I need a follower basis. I need support from everybody on here that watches. But I don't want that to be necessarily a thing of me trying to force it on to people, and kind of begging for it. If you genuinely appreciate what I do and you have a good time, I would just, love for you to join and hang out and, maybe drop a follow or a sub on YouTube, or follow on Twitch, but I would also, just love to hear feedback from you guys as well. Feedback as to, things I could do better, things that would make things more, or, the streams and the videos more enjoyable. Even just helpful information, if you feel like there's something you feel like I am just not getting in these games, or, not understanding, or even if you just think it's a farming strat that you're like, hey, I bet this guy would love this, just feel free to send it. I'd love to hear it. Or any games that you want to see. If you want to watch me play a different game, feel free to just let me know. If there's a game that you're like, hey, have you ever played this? I'd love to watch. Just send it out there. I may very well have it, and I may very well already love playing it. Monster Hunter World, that was another game that I spent a lot of time on. Love Monster Hunter games. They are just wonderful. But yeah, that's my little self plug for the night. If you really like, if you like the videos, you like the content, I would love a like on the video, subscription, maybe drop a little sub, drop a follow on Twitch. I try to stream every night, at least for an hour. On the weekends I stream for a bit longer. Those streams run 4 to 6 hours long. But I'd love to have everybody join. If you enjoy the content on YouTube, then you may very well enjoy it whenever it's live too. So feel free to check it out. Jump in, say hi. I'd love to talk to everybody. Alright, enough of self-promoting. So back to this. Have no idea what these lesser eldritch things do, but you know, I'll pick them up. This guy is not dying. Molten shell, adaptive resistance. I don't think we're killing this guy. He may very well ignore this guy. Yeah, this guy's got Leech's life, making my life even more difficult. This guy just doesn't take damage. There's a cluster drill down there. Let's see what we got here. I guess he's starting to die finally. Hey, I really appreciate that. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. What a nice person. Love that. I love hearing from the community. I know I'm sure everybody that is a big streamer or YouTuber, you know, people's messages get lost in the transit. So, you know, starting so late into the game compared to so many other big YouTubers and Twitch streamers and everything else, you know, I'm sure that it is so hard to keep up with your comment section and everything else. But you know, I definitely want to take the time to appreciate anybody that is willing to spend their time appreciating what I'm doing, you know, because it really helps, especially when you're starting out. Any viewer helps, and you know, I don't want anybody to feel like they get lost in the sea of comments, you know, if I were to become popular, and multiple people are watching and there's so many people in the chat, you know, I don't want that to happen to anybody. So I appreciate everybody that watches. New, old, friend, random person that I've never met before. I appreciate every one of them. Oof, that bleed hurts. Ouch. Alright, I'd appreciate it if they would go away now. Alright. Yep. Got it. That stings. Let's see. So when I started playing Path of Exile, I found a build my good buddy recommended. The best thing to do is to find a League Star build. And I'm glad he recommended that, and I'm glad that I took that recommendation, because man, if I had tried to make a build on my own, it would have been a mess. Oh boy, it would not have gone well. Because this, I don't understand how I have an immense amount of respect for people that create builds in this game, because this is nuts. Looking at just the skill tree alone, even when you have a clear, straightforward path to take, it's still just like, what? Then you look at, you look at it without having any kind of a guideline to go off of, and trying to pick things that you're like, okay, this is going to benefit me, and it doesn't make any sense. It's just a whole bunch of confusion. So I think that is just the coolest thing when people make their own builds. But so I looked on builds, and I was looking, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to play. There's so many different builds in this game, and man, is it confusing. And there's so many places that are resources for finding that build that you want to play, or finding a build to play. And I was looking, I finally just spotted Bleed Gladiator. Bleed Gladiator, sustain and kill everything, I think is like what the title of it was. Good old clickbait title. And I clicked on it, and I was like, yeah, that guy looks fun. And that was the first character that I played in this. And honestly, I really enjoyed it. It is a very fun build. The only drawback, it is super tanky, and it does decent damage. And honestly, they're very upfront about the drawbacks of that build on the build page. It sucks because it is very much so a reaction build, so you have to get hit to hit, because it's just, but with that means, if you evade the hit, it doesn't count. You have to get hit again, so you're not going to get those, attacks for that. And it's a bit slow. And it's got set things that it's supposed to be very good at. It's supposed to be very good in, like, simulacrums, which makes sense because simulacrums are very grouped together. So running the Blade Storm, Eviscerate, and something of Fist. It was some kind of a Fist Smash ability. So you do great for just clearing out crowds of mobs. But you don't do a whole lot of boss damage. It's definitely a very tedious route of taking down bosses, because you're just chipping them all down, and you're not getting hit a bunch of times, so you're not going to get your reactions that you need to constantly keep dishing out the consistent damage. So it's slow at bossing, but in the simulacrums, it's a lot easier to manage because there's just so many mobs, and then you just sustain like crazy on that build. Now, I did not have that build pushed very far to where I was able to do much, but I have no doubt that if I would have put a good amount of currency into that build, that it would have been able to handle some high tier stuff quite easily. And then I kind of got bored with that and decided to, that guy got me, decided to check out some other builds. And as I was checking out some other builds, I was going to go with a Contagion Trickster build. That was going to be hyper expensive, so that was a bummer, and didn't go with that. Then I was going to try a minion witch build. And I kind of wish that I was going to stick with that, but then buddies and I were talking, and they had mentioned it was called an Orabot, and that piqued my interest. Playing supports is definitely a hobby of mine. Oh, my inventory is full. I guess we'll check the... I don't even know why I have that. Ah, that's why I had it. Get that out of here. I hate when it does that. So I tried out the Orobot, and I love the Orobot. Oh my gosh, that build is so much fun. And got that leveled pretty good, but the issue that I was running into is the Orobot was still at a league start point, and I just wasn't able to make the money that I needed to get that build to the next level. So here we are. We are now at the Siege Ballista build. Much cheaper. We'll take this. And so from here, right now we're on the Dex version of this build. We are going to work into going for the Strength version of this build. And I think once we hit the Strength version, we're really gonna be able to make some progress in the game. I think I didn't really have anything worth really taking. Let's see here, any other... These Eldritch monsters? Doesn't look like it. I think I already killed the bosses. Yes, I did. I'll just double check that I've cleared up here and get to skipping. To the next one. More city square maps. Gotta love getting those. I am not sure what this is. Oh, I remember what this is. Oofed. There was maybe a bit too pumped there. I don't know what that is, but it hurts. That was not very nice, I'll tell you that much. Oof. Almost got me again. You know, some of these imprison like packs they go down so nice and easy, and some of them do not. I don't know that the offering to the goddesses are worth anything. The amount of time that they can take. It feels like they take a decent amount of time. I'm not sure why these guys look different, but I'm gonna back up. Okay, well at least they fall down quick. Oh, we got Huck. What a nice helping hand to have. This guy's not falling down nearly as easy. Man, over 19,000 tier on depth. That's nuts. Good for them. Okay, well, thanks for the tip there, Kojo. Because I did one a while ago. Wasn't fully sure what it was. All I know is it took me way longer than it should have, and I was not happy about that. I think that was a heavy bell. I didn't get a good look at it before I picked it up, so... Ah, nuts. Belt's the Deceiver. Not a Mage Blood. And not a... don't remember what the other one is. Something with an H. All I know is I'm supposed to look out for it. Oof. Those bleeds get you quick. Let's see, what do we got here? We'll give that a try. I don't necessarily want to be in range, but I want to be close enough that they get hit with the shock nova. Oh, picked up something random. Oh, reflecting mist. Let's see, do we get something good? Definitely not. Don't think so. Oh. Oh. We'll just take that one. Trying to learn what each and every one of these events and other things that just spawn in each and every one of these maps is definitely, it's a lot. Definitely a lot. Gotta spend a lot of time on the Wikipedia page, that's for sure. And YouTube. And bothering people. Definitely banking on people giving me advice for this game, because man, it is nuts. Yeah, I thought it was like nuts just trying to learn everything in WoW whenever I first started playing that. This is something else altogether. There we go. Alright, so we've got the outer perimeter cleared. And we gotta go for this. Still need to get that 2120 on the Frenzy gem. Need to get the other level 4 enhance gem that I need, and I need the level 4 enlighten gem as well. I get a strong feeling that one's not going to be as cheap. I think the enhance is one div again, hopefully. Hopefully the price hasn't gone up, but I just get a little feeling that the enhance or the enlighten is not going to be nearly as cheap. No, I absolutely agree, Kojo. Like I said, you know, I really liked that gladiator build, but it was just, it fit my playstyle partially, you know, and the thing is that works, especially for learning. I think that build was great for learning the game because it gave me so much survivability. You know, I didn't have to worry about just falling over constantly. If I'd played a glass build or a glass cannon build, it would not have worked out well. Which this build, absolutely, I would recommend to any new player as well. You know, this is super simple. It's not like I am doing anything special whatsoever in this. I am running around and dropping turrets everywhere, you know. But it also fits similar to my playstyle that I played in Diablo 3, which was Demon Hunter and trying to capitalize around on all of my turrets and companions. As far as I did a weird companion build in Diablo 4 where I was able to just keep all of my minions out, and I just kept summoning more and more things. And this is very similar to that, and so I really enjoy this playstyle. But, you know, what in the world is this? Interact repair. Sure. I don't know what that just did. It was something, though. I'm sure it's just gonna make my life harder. But, you know, as far as some of the other builds went, you know, oh great, this guy. Oofed. Let's see here. Where in the world is he going? This tunnel still confuses me to a point. I don't fully get what happens. I do know that as long as I kill everything that it spawns, I get a chest, which is nice. Which, there it is. Okay, we got that spawned, we got that. We need to backtrack back to where we were. But then, you know, I'm sure the trickster build would have been fun, but it was going to be expensive, and I was not in a point where I would have ever had the currency to afford that build or get it even close to started. It just would not have been an easy build to get with just a league start, especially as a new player in the game. And the Orbot, I love the Orbot. Amazing playstyle. I love the Orbot. But again, it was expensive, and I just needed something that would allow me to be able to build up the currency that I need to further grow my characters. And I think that is absolutely this build all the way, and I enjoy playing it. I have a wonderful time, and it's super consistent. And it makes it a lot easier to do certain things in the aspect of, you know, I don't have to worry about reflect. If a map has reflect, but it has really good rewards on it, then I don't just have to turn it away because, reflect. Reflect does stink. It is the worst. But with this build, it doesn't matter, because it'll just reflect onto my totems, and that's not an issue for me. That's a them problem, not a me problem. I do really need to get that chaos resist jewel, so that way I can have a bit better resist there, because right now, not a good amount of chaos resist. Chromatic orbs, or orbs of alteration. We're gonna go with the chromatic orbs. We definitely don't need more orbs of alteration. Oh, I've got knockback. That explains why everything's getting pushed around. Oh, I must have been standing on... Oh, yep, standing on chaos. Yep, that'll do her. I did indeed get godded. I don't know what's going on with that. Sometimes things just spawn, and I'm very confused as to what spawns them. If it wasn't so expensive, I would have loved to try the kinetic blast. I don't know which build it was. Maybe it was Trickster? I'm not positive who was running that build. It looked like it was something tanky, but I could be wrong. Could have been something basic. But the kinetic blast looked super fun. Was I supposed to deploy this thing at some point? I was supposed to kill it? I guess we're gonna find out here shortly. Oh, I was supposed to drop that from the get-go. Whoops. Did not understand that at all. Oh, okay. There's a Trickster and a Deadeye version. Interesting. Well, maybe if I can build up enough currency on this and get my other builds all straight away and going, I give that a try. We're gonna take that. Well, maybe we'll be able to get this thing still completed. Probably not. I don't think there's enough minions on the map. Because we're only down to 64. Well, maybe. Well, I don't know what happened to it. Either I completed it or I didn't. All I know is I don't see him anymore.
I am the judgment of innocence, made manifest for the machine. This choice carries weight. Show no
This guy doesn't fall over, but he also doesn't seem to do a whole lot to me. He may not have attacked me yet, and that may very well be why.
I require only faith. The rest is yours.
There we go. Got him knocked out. Got a couple extra chaos. Finish checking this out real quick. And then take out the bosses. Oof. Got a bleed. Ouch. Alright, that map is now completed. Let's see here. Alright, how are we looking at our essences? Quite a few. Definitely got a good amount in the stockpile. Get these upgraded real quick. I think we'll run this tier 10 and maybe one more tier 16, then do a clear out, see how much we made for the night. Then may have to call it there for the night. It'll work in the morning. Another city square map, love to see it. What build do you like to run, Kojo? You run anything in specific? Currently running anything specific? Charge dash, interesting. Ooh, Rage Vortex. That always sounds fun. I did, when I was looking at this, I was looking at a Cyclone build for, I think it was Duelist. I do like the Duelist class. I think it's very fun and good class, and it's got some good builds for it. But this one piqued my interest a bit better. As I looked at a decent Lacerate build, I think. Okay, very similar to Cyclone, very cool. I always think the Cyclone builds are cool. They're good for AoE, and I like AoE clearing. Clearing as much as possible is always a wonderful thing to do. Yeah, exactly. That was kind of what piqued my interest about the Contagion Trickster build that I had seen, was that it's just a complete map clear, screen clear, and that just looks super fun to me. But alas, it's expensive. And we were but a broke newbie at the game. The real struggles. That was a special city square map, so maybe that'll give some good rewards. Or it'll just kill us over and over again. That is very likely. I think that divine orb that we got on like the first map was the first divine orb that we've gotten solo from my own map. So that was pretty cool. Can't complain about that. I know it's not a mirror, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. Gotta remember your roots. That's why I'll even if I have a mirror in the stash, I'm gonna stop and pick up that chaos orb. Is it inefficient? Absolutely, but I gotta remember my roots. Never know when you're gonna need that chaos orb.
I hope you're not here to carry favor with my family.
Infamous Sanguimancer. I have no idea what that means. Oh, that means that they're the ones that have the uniques on them. Well, your unique sucks. I have a feeling you're gonna kill me. I lose renown if I don't duel them. Oh, okay. So not just, that can be worth something. Well, they've got 2 of them on there. Oh man, you just don't have any good gear. Look for ones that say infamous. Interesting. I don't need you to compare it to what I'm looking at. Boot mod. Oh. Oh, I see what you mean. So that's an infamous skill. Interesting. Interesting. I did not know that. That's good to know, though. Let's see here. Okay, well, I guess
By all means, throw your life away.
I'm gonna have to steer clear of this chick. Whew. I don't know that I've ever actually managed to survive. I think I thought I had just picked one of those up, actually. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever survived one of those, which is a good feeling. Feels nice to have survived that. Granted, I guess this is a lower tier map. Yeah, it is a level 77 map. If we'd been on a tier 16, I'd have been cooked. I have a bad habit of collecting uniques that aren't worth anything as is, so it's probably best that I just take the chaos. Had pretty luck of just getting chaos pickups throughout these maps so far. Let's take a look at what that map was. Good amount of city square maps. Let's play the Originator's Memories. We'll run one tier 16 and then go through and clear out everything. You know, that's a very good point, Coach O, and that is exactly why I like to pick things up. Also, because I've played too many looter games like Diablo 3 and Borderlands, where you gotta pick up everything. Picking up a unique it feels nice, and then you find out it's worthless, and then you're like, wow, this feels less nice. Well, that seems like a whole waste of time. But I guess that is kind of the way that people learn how to make builds and come up with the idea for certain builds, is they have to know items. So the sooner I can learn all those items, the sooner I can kind of figure out how to adapt my own builds. Oof, the bleed got to me. Or whatever it was. Oh, interesting. I know that there's a couple that I've saved that I know are supposed to be pretty good for leveling, or they're good to throw onto your mercenary. Granted, I've had a bad habit of just holding on to a bunch of them anytime I see them now. But, you know, I will always have them now, and in abundance. I'll pick that up. If I need space, I'll drop it. Never seem to have enough chromatic orbs. I don't believe it's immunity. I think it just clears it. I'll have to take a look. I know it clears bleed. Let me take a look. Okay, so yeah, it grants immunity to bleeding for 13 seconds while bleeding. Grants immunity to corrupted blood for 13 seconds as well. So I didn't die to bleeding or corrupted blood there. I don't know what killed me. Something highly unfortunate. It was probably chaos. It seems like that's just the answer. If I had a death detail, that'd be super handy. Seems to be that's a consensus of this game. As everybody wishes there was a death detail. I do think it would be a great quality of life change for this game, though. You know, having that knowledge of what killed you can help you kind of raise your resistances or know what to look out for. Because it's not always simple to just know what killed you there, or like what you stepped on, what you were hit by, what you walked into. Or even just learning like boss mechanics, you know, knowing what attack did what damage, or what attack did what damage type. Some of these attacks make no sense. Oh, great. Another infamous. Let's see. Mana Leech is kind of nice. Yeah, even if they just told you what type of damage you died to, super helpful. Inherent loss of rage is 20% slower. It's kind of a bummer that it doesn't show you what it would be worth with that modifier. Oh, 110 chaos. Okay. I'm absolutely not surviving this. If he gets anywhere near me. I'd much rather him still be on my screen so I could see where he is. Thank goodness for the skeletons. Am I actually gonna kill him here? Because that would be wonderful. Oh, beautiful game. I mean, not even close. Honestly, I knew I had him. There's no doubt in my mind. Didn't doubt myself for a second. We never die. I don't know what's so funny, Gojo. We don't die in this stream. We just kill things and survive. I can't wait for something to blow me up. Nope. Just gonna go over this way and mind my own business. I'm glad you enjoy the stream, Kojo, because this is just gonna consist of me killing a boss over the span of 20 minutes. Not even a boss, just an essence. Not even close. Man, they really grouped all these prison camps near each other. I guess I could level that. Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely had to learn to dodge some things because, man, standing still has gotten. Honestly, standing still was something that I had a really bad habit of when I first started playing WoW. When I played WoW, the main, I guess, class is what they would call it. I don't know. The main type of character that I played was always a druid. I played Resto Druid. Love playing support. So I play in just about any game that I get the chance to. League of Legends, everything. I even built a support build in Monster Hunter World. I love that build. But man, you stand still as a healer or a support, you're dead. You're dead as a doornail. It is not. Games are not kind to supports. You will not survive if you stand still for more than a couple of seconds, and even that's pushing it. I will say this build makes it very hard to see if there's something on my feet. If I don't continue to like backstab or walk around, because it just, well, I've got 14 turrets at a time, so they kind of take up a bit of my floor space. You can't see anything. Then I die to poisons or ignites or bleeds, and a lot of chaos. Alright, well, that's gonna kind of suck. What is my cold resist? Alright, well, I mean, we're capped, so like, what's the worst that could happen? With any luck, we'll get some secure drops, like an expensive secure drop. Honestly, it would have been really nice to get that before going and taking out that mercenary. That would have been super nice. If we could have gotten a double drop on that scarab. 18% chance is actually pretty decent, not gonna lie. I like those odds. Ooh. I don't know what that was, but it hurted. What in the world is this? Yeah, it is super nice to just be able to kind of drop these turrets and go about my day and not have to be anywhere near what's going to happen. I'm unsure how this is going to go for me. It is also kind of nice that I can kind of just stand in the center of all my turrets, and they do get targeted first, and I can stay safe. Yeah, I could see how that works in your favor. Yeah, we'll just take that. What's the worst that could happen? Right, that's enough of the meteorites. I don't know if am I dropping those? I really couldn't tell you. There's a whole lot going on here. And he is not dying. Oh, but I am. Don't you worry. What does this guy have? Everything? Oh, he's got so many essences on him. Am I even killing him? I don't even think he's taking damage. Oh, well that happens. Just remember, we never die on this stream. Doesn't happen. We also never run away. Holy. This is a choice. Not a good one, but a choice. Something's dying back there. Hopefully it's something important to them and not me. I just don't feel like this guy is taking any damage at all. Okay, he's starting to take some damage. Yeah, he seems to have a lot of essence on him, and I really want it. And I have a bad habit of being quite stubborn. I mean, I max leveled archaeology in World of Warcraft for a mount. That's how stubborn I am. Multiple mounts, but mounts nonetheless. And I got them. As well as a lot of achievements that nobody else in that game really has, because nobody does archaeology in that game. I feel like he's healed, and I find that frustrating. Okay, yeah, he definitely healed all the way back up. He's got so many modifiers, I can't even tell how many modifiers he has. Alright, I don't think this is a winnable fight. I fear that was unwinnable. I appreciate it. I'll just let it go. I think it's like a catch and release thing with fish. Yeah, let it grow bigger. Catch it another day, something like that.
Elegantly done.
3 chaos orbs on that. Oh, and of course, inventory is full. I said I'd get rid of it if I needed the space. Did I need the space for that? Probably not. Am I going to? Absolutely. Alright, time to do the good old clear out of the inventory. And see what we rate. What in the world is that? What kind of lion pelt is that? Because that sure doesn't look like a lion pelt. Oh, what a bummer. I would have thought that an ability like that would have been a bit more pricey. Alright, we're going to take the last 2 rows of all of our essences. And get to wheeling and dealing. 6.8. We'll do it for 24. $17 a piece, very nice. We're gonna sell those for 22 a piece. That makes sense. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of the builds that I found are very based around not dying. Which, I get it. I wouldn't want to die either. Yeah, they're doing it for 8 apiece. I'm not going to sell them for 4. That just doesn't make sense. We're gonna sell those for 4 apiece. Somebody will buy them. Get our big stacks out of the way. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, those those definitely hit pretty hard. My buddies pulled me into a few of them, and they are not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Alright, I need the chaos not intermingling with my essences. Piece. Well, I'm not gonna sell them for 2 a piece if they're going for that. Well, that's not even in stock right now. Sometimes it really feels like Faustus is just trying to screw me over. It sure is a slow but steady kind of system. Alright, we're at 174. 731. Cannot complain about that, that's for sure. Let's see, we'll grab all of our random stuff out now. I don't think I got any scouting reports to try to sell. Nope, doesn't look like it. But we will get our rogue marks out and sell those. See if we can get rid of any of these. Keep those. Alright, we'll see if this is worth anything. And then we'll go through our scarabs. Man, that is not worth a thing. Alright, a whole lot of nothing on those. Rings and belt are the belt might not be too bad. The ring is pretty bad. If I had the right mods, I could definitely fit more in. It was more of a spur of the moment kind of thing of, okay, this gave me the dex that I needed, and I kind of added some resistances that I needed afterwards. So we got the lightning res on there, and then the rest is just dex and stuff. This one, again, adds dex, and then fire resist, but my belt is where I threw lightning chaos resistance and some fire resistance. But once I get, let me see, what is it that I need? It is my timeless jewel. The timeless jewel is, I think, like 45 div. And that one really amps up. It gives percent dexterity on all of my travel nodes. Or no, it gives plus 4 dex on all my travel nodes and percent dexterity on my bigger nodes, as well as I want to say I get something. There's something big that it gives me. It'll be very nice. I don't remember off the top of my head, because the timeless jewel that it tells me to run impacts the bigger nodes differently than what the one that I'm gonna grab does. I need that one, and then there's a different jewel that I need as well. The light of meaning prismatic jewel that gives passive skills, and the radius also grant plus 4% to chaos res. So that'll be where I get my chaos res cap, and then I'll go through and I'll upgrade rings, and I'll upgrade belt. But at that point, I may also be just about at the point where I'm ready to start converting to the strength version of this build as well. Let's see, gotta go through scarabs. I need everything except for my essence scarabs, which are there. I don't need that one. And I need to keep my mania and paranoias. Yes. Alright, let's see if these are worth anything at all. Yes. So the timeless jewel calculator is actually where I found. So there's only 3 options for the jewel that I need, and one of them just it's not gonna really give me the effects that I want. Like, so the one that I'm supposed to use gives, I believe, plus 2 dex to the travel nodes, and then it gives plus 5% increase to dex, and then it increases like projectile speed, projectile damage. It gives some strength, evasion rating, armor. Okay, so no. This one, it gives minions deal 20% increased damage, which doesn't really help me out. It gives me, I gain onslaught for 8 seconds on kill, but I'm already getting that from my split personality and my medium cluster jewel. And then medium increase attack and cast speed, which again doesn't really help me a whole lot. Whereas the one that I plan on going for will give increased dex by 5%, dex increased by 5%, and then it gives me plus 20 dex on the one that it would normally give me the minion damage. It gives me 20% cold resist on the one that would give me the faster attack and cast speed, and 5% global chance to blind enemies on hit, which I don't know if that's gonna pass over to my totems. If I'm lucky, well, I have no idea. And then I get plus 4 dex to all of my travel nodes instead of plus 2, so my dex should get even higher than what it would have with the other one. But unfortunately, it's, I think, 45 div right now. 25 div. So I'm actually getting pretty close to it. The other one wasn't much cheaper. I think it was like 15 div, something like that. So, I mean, for an extra 10 div, it'd be nicer to have the have those extra stats. Just yeah, no, my buddy he had told me about it originally, but when I looked at it, I was like, this is confusing as all get out. So he gave me kind of a crash course on how it works, and then I was able to figure it out a lot easier. Alright, time to do the slow and tedious thing of going through all these scarabs. And getting confused as to which one I clicked on last. That one happens a lot. There are so many different websites and resources to manage to know how to play this game. It's honestly pretty impressive. Here we go. 142 chaos off of that one. Cannot complain on that. It's over half a div, I think. I think a div is, yesterday I was buying them for 214, 212. Actually, I think I got them for 210. Now I'm thinking about it. Alright, well, doesn't seem like I made a ton off of scarabs, except I made a lot off of very few. And that seems to be the way scarabs work. Alright. Yeah, definitely reminds me of kind of like how WoW is, with just the amount of like mods that you can download for WoW to boost your quality of life. So originally, I think we were at 101 chaos and 9 divines to start the day. So we're back up to 983 chaos with 10 divs. So we're definitely getting closer to our goal. We still have almost another, let's see, 80, 84, 94, about another 150 chaos to come through. So we want a divine. We're going to trade it for chaos. So they're at 207 right now. We're already paid 205. We're going to put that up, see if we can't get that to go through. But I think that is where we're going to call it for the night. Kojo, it was a pleasure having you in the chat all night. Definitely appreciate the support. I will be on tomorrow as well, and then over the weekends I'm usually on a lot longer. But yeah, feel free to pop in anytime you want. Just send a message, let me know you're here. Definitely appreciate having you here. But I am going to take off for the night. So you have yourself a wonderful evening, bud.